So my sales went up 45% in 2020. And in 2021, in the first half already sold, the first half of 2021 is more or less the double of the first half of 2020. Twice two. I don't know if my English is correct.
So you've already doubled first half of the year. You've doubled what you made last year here in 2021. Hey, this is Ryan Levesque here, and listen, I am super excited for this interview here today, where we're going to be taking a look at a quiz. Now, the reason why I'm excited about this quiz funnel and the gentleman who is the mastermind behind it is because, number one, this is in a language other than English. So I know a lot of people are always asking, does this work in other markets outside of the United States or outside of the English-speaking market? So you're going to see an example of that in action. Number two, you're going to see some pretty amazing results. I'm not going to spoil things. But the results pre-quiz and post-quiz have amounted to really getting to a place of more than doubling the business over that time. So we're going to look at some real numbers and actual results. And then we're going to take some important tips and learnings gathered along the way, so you can begin to think about how you might be able to apply some of what we're going to cover in your business as well. So with that being said, I am really excited to welcome to the stage the man himself, the man of the hour, Mr. Aurélien Daudet. Aurélien, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm great, and to be called and named a mastermind by Ryan Levesque, I'm really feeling good.
It's awesome to be here. So, Aurélien, you have to tell us before we get started. Tell us a little bit about your business. What do you sell? Who do you serve? And what part of the world are you in right now?
Yeah, right now I'm a French. I'm married to a Spanish girl, so I'm living in Spain. And actually, English is my fourth language, so please don't give me credit for my poor English. And my business is I'm a coach and trainer in big companies in France, in Spain, also in some countries in Latin America, and also in some countries in the north of Africa. And since I joined, the reason why I joined Ask is because I wanted to open my competencies, my capabilities to the general market, to other people that the people I serve in big companies. And right now I'm focusing on women in 30s, 40s, 50s who have left big companies in order to develop their own business.
Very cool. Very cool. I love that. I love how you've been able to kind of take this really big market and been able to find your specific niche and your focus, which is, as you know, one of the things that I talk about all the time is like having that level of focus is so powerful. So, all right, I know everyone's dying to see this quiz funnel that you've built and the results that it's generated. But before we go to the sort of, picture of what things are like today, tell us a little bit about what life was like before. So what was the size of your audience? What was your business like? Were you online or were you mostly offline? Like, talk a little bit about what things were like before.
Yeah, actually, I was mostly offline. And I just had started to build online presence on LinkedIn. And also I had a very poor lead magnet on a very slowly and lonely web page. And the only list I had was more or less 900 to 1,000 contacts, but they were all people I already knew, people I had worked with. So I could tell the name of every people in it.
Right. So basically your email list, so to speak, your audience was your personal list of contacts that you'd grown really over the course of your career. Over a period of years, you knew everybody individually. So that was kind of like before, mostly pretty much all offline, just a little bit online, offline business, personal contacts, lots of referrals, not a whole lot else going on. Now, let's talk about sort of after quiz. You launched the quiz not that long ago at the time of this recording, and talk a little bit about what has happened since. So what's the size of your email list? How have things changed since then?
First of all, my hair went a little bit gray. because I have invested a lot of energy and a lot of passion in it. And right now, just before this call, my list is 2,000, almost 800 people.
Wow.
So it almost tripled in a few months.
Wow.
It was really huge, and they are all people I didn't know this time. It's really excited because I'm feeling I'm really opening myself and all what I'm doing to other people, new people. And before to join your community, please don't laugh at me, but I didn't even had a Facebook account. Right now I have a Facebook account, obviously, but I also have a Facebook group with 250 people. And it's a very active group. The people are coming to weekly webinars, are coming to free events I'm making. And everything is because of what I learned in the Ask community.
I mean, it's really exciting. So, before, just to kind of, bring it to light here, before contact list of, call it about 900, 1,000 contacts that you'd grown over the years, just personal contacts, and that took you years to develop.
Yeah.
Within months of launching your quiz, your contact list has tripled to 2,800 plus people and growing. By the time this interview is over, that number is probably going to be higher than what it was at the beginning of this interview. 2,800 people and growing, and that's just in a few short months. So 1,000 people taking your entire career to develop, and then 2,800 tripling in size in just a matter of months. And even more importantly, you've now gone from a fully offline presence to now online. And we're going to talk a little bit about the revenue and income impact of that here in just a minute, because that's where things start to get really exciting. But let's first maybe take a look at the quiz itself. So set the stage for us before we pull it up on stage, on screen here. So tell us a little bit about the quiz, and maybe you could kind of explain it here. All right, cool. So let's.
The quiz is based off what I have learned in the world of transactional analysis. And the quiz is, in French, is called the serial killer de votre communication, meaning the serial killer of your communication. And the goal is to give the people one of 5 different options, 5 different profiles, and everyone will get the inner process which triggers stress in them and during the communication, during the conversation, bringing the conversation down the road.
I love it. So really what we're doing is we're picking a topic, which I love so much, that is really relevant to your market, which is really improving your communication. And what you've identified is in this market, there are 5 mistakes that people make that absolutely kill their ability to communicate. And we all tend to make at least one of these mistakes. And you've got this really cool quiz funnel that helps identify what that mistake might be. And then based on that information, that segues seamlessly into what you do and what you sell and what you help people with. So it's just a nice hand glove fit. So let's do this. Let's pull up your quiz on screen if we can, and we can kind of maybe just click through it a little bit to see what we're looking at. So we get your handsome face here. You can scroll down. We won't spend too much time on the actual, copy of it. This is great. We got our little icons here. I love what you've done there with the different killers. That's great. Love what you've done with the report too. The report template that everybody gets. And by the way, for everyone watching this right now, this is based on one of the highest converting quiz templates. And to my knowledge, I think our team, correct me if I'm wrong, Aurélien, I think our team may have helped a little bit with the kind of setup on this. Is that correct?
Yeah, they help a lot, but I wanted to be the best in the school. So I just ask questions. They answer really, really fast, but I wanted to learn myself.
I love it. No, I'm there with you. I like to know how things work too. So let's click on the red button. And let's just go through a few questions to see. You can see here it's all in French, so we won't spend too much time on the language, but asking one question at a time, clicking through with our grease the wheels, and then we've got a lot of best practices in this. And how many questions in your quiz do you have? Do you know off the top of your head?
No, 12 I would say. Great. And that's the result.
And then so we got the result page, and your result is PV. To find out what this means, enter your email address, click the big red button to continue, and then that takes people to kind of the next step. So you were showing the flow chart, as you describe it, the quiz skeleton. Maybe we could pull that up on screen and just kind of take a look at what this looks like. So yeah, so if we start, zoom out or start to the left a little bit. Yeah, this is beautiful. And basically, for anyone curious, what we're looking at here is we're looking inside what's called the canvas function within Bucket 2.0, which is the technology, of course, that Aurélien's built this in. And you can see here is a series of questions that Aurélien is asking. And based on the combination of those answers, Aurélien is putting people into one of 5 possible buckets. So he's using this to diagnose, like a doctor, to diagnose what situation someone's in, put them into one of 5 different buckets. And then what's the next step, Aurélien? If we maybe cut back to Aurélien here, if we're able to. Oh, yeah, he's doing it on his end. If you are able to, beautiful. What happens as the next step? So someone takes the quiz and then, do they go to a webinar? Like what's happening next?
Yeah, they go first to a page where I'm explaining the results.
Yep.
And saying they will get the report in their email address. And then at the end of this video, I said to them, if you want to know more, please come to join me to my weekly webinar next Wednesday. And I will be happy to give you more things to learn.
I love it. So let's talk numbers. I know everyone's saying, okay, we've got the kind of lay of the land. We've seen this, and we'll start with just the kind of the webinar sales in the not too distant past here, plus the little update that you shared with me before we hopped on. Let's start with that number now. So on the webinar itself, you're selling a product. It's about 300 euros. Is that the price point?
Yeah, 300 euros is the regular price. 390. And during the webinar, I time to time tried different fast cash offer, 140, 150, 190. I tried several different options.
And then tell us kind of the results on that. Before we talk about your overall business and how this has all impacted you, but just this one little thing alone. Webinar, just launched it not too long ago. If you want to share the stats on your screen, feel free to do that as well. Talk to us a little bit about the numbers.
Yeah, tomorrow will be the ninth edition of my webinar. And right now I'm still learning, but I'm feeling, because I'm a former theater actor, I'm feeling I'm going through the text, the canvas, and all the things you learn to us. It's really exciting to feel the skeleton going in my body. And the results are that I have sold 7 seats already, which is quite amazing because before I didn't do that. And the results are here. I can show you. Yeah. Since I joined Ask, I made 8,000 euros of sales.
Nice.
Yes, to myself.
And did you say, like, right before we got on this interview, like, you just had another sale that came in, like, just not that long ago?
Yeah, because I follow the path. The success path. I follow it by the book. And so last week, on last Friday, I launched my first schedule, my first live training. And just before we went on the call, I sold the 4th seat to this first schedule, meaning my seats are already 50% full.
Wow.
In just 4 days. And the next, the opening is the 3rd, it's in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So it's great.
I just want to zoom up one level because I think this is really powerful. It's, you build a quiz like this. It gives you a consistent flow of new leads coming into your world every single day. Now, when you have these leads, I like to say leads are the lifeblood of your business. When you have these leads, these email subscribers who have signed up for your email list, you can sell products and services to them. So just covering the basics here. And when you have a constant flow of leads coming into your world, you can constantly sell new things. And so in your case here, you're launching a brand new program, never done it before. It's totally new. And here you are, because you have this quiz funnel that's giving you these leads, you're able to pre-sell seats to this program before you've even created it, before you've even hosted it. So what's beautiful is you're pre-selling before you've done any of the work to actually deliver the program, and you know it's going to be a success because people have already bought it before you've built it. And 4 days into that process, you're already 50% full of this program, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and the main difference with the quiz is that the people coming to my world already have received a lot from me. They know me. A lot of them are going to my webinar, not as much as I want, but I'm learning. Yeah. And they have already had a lot of contact with me. So when I make an offer to them, that's not a regular offer out of the space. They know me already. That's really the power, one of the of many powers of the quiz funnel for me.
And I love that because with the quiz funnel, you're delivering a tremendous amount of value in a very short amount of time. Because people are taking the quiz and then you're able to give them a custom diagnosis, give them a custom result. They get a custom report based on their situation. You're giving them the results of the quiz and what it means to them in video format. So they're seeing you deliver a tremendous amount of value so that by the time you make an offer, you're asking for the sale. Even though they've only known you for a very short amount of time, they've gotten so much value in that amount of time that they're ready to become a buyer. And that's how, if you're starting brand new, if you're going from offline to online, you've got no online presence at all, you're kind of starting a new product or whatever it may be, that's how you're able to succeed really quickly, is because of that magic, because of the power of the quiz. All right, so we've talked kind of small numbers. Now I want to zoom up because since you implemented this in your business, all sorts of cool things have happened in your life and in your business as a result of this quiz funnel, at least in part. I'd love if maybe we could wrap up by maybe you could share a little bit sort of your income before putting this in place, your income after in 2020, and then kind of in the first few months of 2021 this year, where things are at. So I'll let you take it away because I know you're excited to share some of these numbers and put them up on screen.
I'm really excited because when I joined this community, I was thinking it will just have effect on my online presence. And for all the people who are starting their online business, they really have to think about it because I didn't know it. But it will also have effects on your actual business, maybe offline business or whatever. Because for me, it was huge. Before joining Ask, before the COVID in 2019, I had a gross amount of 120,000 euros in sales. At the end of 2020, with all the work that I have done and all the presence online, my regular customers went back to me saying, we are interested in what are you doing? You are the only one that we see everywhere. So my sales went up 45% in 2020. And in 2021, in the first half already sold, the first half of 2021 is more or less the double of the first half of 2020. Twice two. I don't know if my English is correct.
So you've already doubled. First half of the year, you've doubled what you made last year here in 2021. And what I love about your story is that because so many people, not just new people, not just new clients, but people who are already familiar with you, they're seeing the quiz. They're going through the quiz, and it's leading them to say, wait, how do we work with you in a deeper way? Like, do you have anything else you can do with us? So you're able to grow not only the new business coming in, but your existing clients, existing audience, they're wanting to work with you in a deeper way. So that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's the whole energy in this group, the whole, also, I mean, I'm a trainer since 20 years, and I thought I was pretty good. But when I went to the classes you make, I was, the guy is very good. So I went up to increase my level, and to buy a lot of stuff. And the people coming to my trainings right now are telling me, yeah, you give a lot of energy. And when they say that, I every time think courage and grit, courage and grit, your mantra. And I'm deep into that.
I love that. That warms my heart so much, and it's just really cool to see your journey and just how you're literally just taking off in like a rocket ship. How quickly things are happening for you. So, in the last minute or two before we've got to run here, I've just got one final question for you, and that's this. People are watching this right now, in all sorts of different situations. And for someone who's watching this right now, maybe they're thinking about signing up for the quiz training that we have coming up. They're thinking about becoming part of the community in some way, shape, or form. For anybody who's, maybe thinking about pulling the trigger, signing up, enrolling, knowing that it's a big investment for them to make this decision. Yeah. What would you say to someone who's watching this right now, who's thinking about it, but is maybe on the fence? What would you say to that person right now?
Do we have 2 hours? Okay, I will try to keep it short. It was also for me a huge investment. And why? Because in addition to this program, before I already went to join another program, more or less for the same amount of money. And I already knew it wasn't for me. This program is the only one where you have access to the boss. I mean, Ryan, you see the guy in action. You have a fantastic community, but before speaking of the community, I want to speak about the coaches. And the huge invention you have, the huge thing you have in this group is the accountability coach. Every once you see someone and you see him twice, one alone, once in a small group, and it's a huge bump of energy. You are committed to success. The third thing I want to speak about is the success path. I am a little bit of obsessional character. I need a blueprint. But this kind of blueprint, you will never find it anywhere else. And every step of the way is designed, and you have the resource. You just have to click and execute. Emulate before you innovate. Yeah. Each time I try to innovate, I crashed. So I just follow the path, and you will success. Slowly, it takes a lot of grit, a lot of courage, a lot of energy, but you see the progress, and it's when you are going to slow, and you know that you will have the support to go to the next step. It's the best gift I ever made to myself, ever.
I love it. There's not much more you can say than that. Aurélien, my friend, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here, to give us a behind-the-scenes look of your quiz, to share some of the numbers and the results, and take us through your business. Really, really grateful, and looking forward to the opportunity to connect again sometime soon.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ryan. Thank you for everything.
Awesome. And with that being said, once again, this is Ryan Levesque here, and you've listened to another interview from someone who's getting incredible results in his business, and in Aurélien's case, really doing some amazing things, taking his business from a purely offline to an online business, tripling the size of his audience in just a matter of months, doubling his business in 2021 compared to 2020, doubling his business this year compared to last year, and doing it all on the power of a quiz funnel that's powering his business in a huge way. And this is just the beginning. So if you're interested in learning more or joining us here in the process and program that Aurélien went through to get these results, I encourage you to click the link or follow the instructions on this page or post to join us inside. And I'd love to welcome you with open arms to be part of this as well. So with that being said, we're going to wrap things up here. I look forward to seeing you inside. Follow the instructions on this page or post to learn more and join us. And I look forward to talking soon. Thanks so much.